Hi, my name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses with SuccessfulBlackWoman.com. I'm also the creator of the M3 Balance program, which is a system that women can use to balance their money-making efforts with marriage and motherhood. Um, the other day I did a video or a segment on the Your Black World channel that talked about a very hot topic right now, which is about a 4-year-old a little black boy who fell into a gorilla pit at a zoo in Cincinnati. And the subject has really turned ugly where now we're hearing about the father of that child who wasn't even at the zoo being investigated, not just by the police but by the media, and they're bringing up old things like, oh, he had a criminal record, the mother has been dragged through the mud, look at her, she's such an awful mother, why wasn't she watching her kids, and so forth. And it got me thinking, and I wrote this topic down, and I said, how's it possible, or is it possible, I asked myself a question, is it possible for even what is a good mother to be neglectful, or to neglect her kids? And I got to thinking about, the last week that I've had. I've been very, very busy. I'm not even sure why, but it's a good kind of busy. I've been getting a lot of clients who want to work with me in my coaching program. I have a couple of business partners that are ready to go on some projects, but everybody is demanding time from me. And like I said, I really believe that you have to balance the most important areas of your life. For me, those areas are, of course, I have to create income streams to be financially independent. However, that does not come before my marriage, and that does not come before my role as a mother. And I got to thinking, you can be pulled in so many directions that sometimes you're not really focused on one area of your life, and then it starts to suffer and it starts to be neglected. Here's an example. For instance, homeschool my kids. I have 3 kids. The youngest is obviously not in homeschool. He's only 3 months old. But my older son is 7. He's in the first grade, and my daughter's almost 10. She's about to go into the 5th grade in September, so she's in the 4th grade. We homeschool, and we're generally in school in the morning. I also have a series of, again, business partnerships and several income streams that I'm always working on. And it occurs to me that when a client calls me and then asks to make an appointment with me in the morning, am I supposed to take that appointment, or should I turn it down? On the one hand, it doesn't make sense if a client wants to meet with you in the morning and you just say no. But on the other hand, if I'm really, really invested in my kids' education and have taken my day and I've split it into a few parts, and that part is reserved for my kids. If I were to take the morning and I say, just this one time I'm going to go and I'm going to meet with this client in the morning, that can become a pattern where now I'm just chasing that dollar, chasing those clients, and trying to get ahead financially, but I'm neglecting one area of my life. The same thing applies the other way around. I could have kids that are all over the place. There's no structure, there's no schedules, they don't know what's going on, and all I'm doing is managing all these crises and problems, and I'm never giving my business or my partnerships or whatever else I'm working on, my business projects, I'm not giving them enough time because it's so much chaos around here. So one thing that I can say is, as speaking as a mother, is there's definitely a lot of room for neglect to creep into your life. In the instance of this mom, I wasn't really trying to make this conversation all about her. I'm just talking in this instance about motherhood and how negligence can creep into your life. It's possible, it can happen, but in the instance of this mom, I believe that she had other kids there. And the one thing that came to me after I shared the video that I did a couple of days ago talking about specifically about that incident was, I really started to wonder about the village and the community. I'm one of those moms, if I'm in the store and I see a little one and they look lost, or they look like their mom's nowhere near them, I yank them and I say, we're looking for your mother. Or I take them to the cash register or wherever there's a microphone in the store, and I say, please, please announce that there's a little kid roaming around and her mother maybe is looking for her. So I really do wonder, this mom had a lot on her hands. What was going on with the people around her? Didn't anybody see that little boy slip off? Did anybody try to stop him? Or did people sit back and just watch and let a crisis or a tragedy unravel? That's something that I have to wonder about. So one of the things, and this is what I'm moving towards in asking this question of, is it possible for a good mother to be negligent? I don't believe if she's in a good community and she has good support around her that negligence can creep in that easily. I think that if we go back to that old adage of it takes a village to raise a child, I don't think that we'll get that much negligence. If everybody's watching out for everybody's child, everybody's being responsible, everybody's being understanding, rather than taking your finger and pointing it, use your hands to help. That's how I feel. That's how I treat the women around me. Rather than take my finger and point it at them, I tend to help them, whether they're mothers or anything else. I think that that's a more constructive way to move forward. So that's all I have to say about the topic. I think that it's important for us to always be looking for ways to be more organized, to plan more. But at the same time, I think that it would serve us well if we have too much on our plates to have help, to get help. And if you're the person who doesn't have too much on their plate, when you see somebody who does have a lot on their plate or is managing a lot or is overwhelmed, the better thing to do is to help them rather than judge them and point fingers at them. That's all I have to say for now. My name again is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses with SuccessfulBlackWoman.com. Thank you for watching. Take care.